My name is Patricia Peña. You know, every once in a while, there is a person or a people group that God lifts to be a bridge that connects between the past and the future. People that love and follow the Lord wholeheartedly, above fear, above the narratives that surround them, with eyes set above for guidance and forward in direction. Journey with me in this series as we learn from a powerful example of what it means to be a generation in between. One that celebrates all that God has done, cautiously and with hopeful eyes, scouting the present and courageously moves forward, conquering a safe land for the generations to come. Let me introduce you to a sometimes unsung hero, Caleb. His name is described to mean faithful, wholehearted, bold, brave. We know he is a son of one of Israel's tribes. We meet him for the first time in the book of Numbers, in an oasis in the middle of the desert, just south of the Promised Land. He is chosen with Joshua and 10 others to scout the land. And Scripture tells us that he scouts the land with Joshua and another 10 chosen people. When they returned from scouting the land, the other 10 reported seeing giants that were stopping them from receiving the promise and wondering if they would be enough and if Joshua's leadership would be enough. Caleb, on the other hand, saw milk and honey. He saw a fruitful land and stood in a place of support of Joshua. Caleb understood where they have been. He acknowledged that there were giants that they needed to face in order to conquer, but he knew he had a strength that came from God, believing that God would bring them the victory. In Numbers 14, we see these words about Caleb. But because my servant Caleb has a different attitude, and in some translations, a different spirit, and has wholeheartedly followed me, I will bring him to the land he already explored, and his descendants will possess it. Caleb had a different spirit, which enabled him to enter and to settle in the promised land that defied the despair of those around him. Would you be a Caleb today? Would you allow yourself to see beyond what might seem like an impossible task to conquer? May you have today a spirit like Caleb that followed and served the Lord wholeheartedly and devotedly determined with the courage to see the promises of God fulfilled, not only for him, but for the generations to come. Caleb was a generation in between. Follow me in the next videos as we dive into 2 characteristics that made Caleb a perfect example of what it means to be a generation in between that serves the Lord wholeheartedly.